Good afternoon, dear students. Welcome to the another session of our lecture. I hope that you all are keeping well, staying at home. So, dear students, stay home, stay safe, and study. Dear children, as we have seen in our last session, in our last lecture, our unit 4.4, the name of the novel was The Sign of Four. The author is Arthur Conan Doyle. So, students, up till now we have seen in that our main character, our hero, Sherlock Holmes, and his friend John Watson, his client Mary Mostyn. Mary has come to Sherlock to seek his help. The reason she came and told Sherlock the case of her missing father. Now, I told you in the last lecture that Mary was having an another case with her. She told Sherlock everything about her father's when he was when he called Mary, he was not there, he was missing. And Mary told that after that, she said that on 4th of May 1882, she read an advertisement. In that advertisement, she had been asked for her address. She was working as a governess at Mrs. Cecil's house. Mrs. Cecils advised her that it's better you give your address and let's see what happens next. And she has started receiving a precious pearl every year on that same date. Now, what happens next? She must be very happy, that now every year I'm receiving very, very precious pearl. What has happened then? Why she came to Sherlock Holmes? The reason is, if you have textbook with you, as I already told you that students, you have to keep your textbook with you. Take out page number 210 and 211, which we will be dealing today. In that it is written that when she told Holmes everything, he remarked that it's an very usual case. Very interesting case, he says. Not to which Mary says that, thank you, Mr. Holmes, but today I received an envelope. And in that envelope, she says that I have received an envelope, and in that, a letter is there. What was that letter telling? What was written in that letter? She says that, letter says that, be at the third pillar from the left outside the Lyceum Theatre tonight at 7 o'clock. The letter says, in that letter, an address has been given. It is written that don't bring cops with you. However, you can bring two of your friends with you. Okay. What was there in that letter? An address is given saying that be at the third pillar from the left outside the Lyceum Theatre right at 7 o'clock. Don't bring cops with you. Just be there. Yes, you can take two friends along with you. Okay. So this is the case. Why Mary has been called? What is going to happen next? Who is the person who is sending pearls to Mary every year? That also a very precious pearl, a very valuable pearl, and now a letter, an anonymous letter. What's the purpose behind that letter? Is someone is trying to threaten Mary? Was Mary's life is at risk? No one knows. As a reader, neither you, neither we cannot make out. And for this moment and for this time, if you're imagining yourself as one of the character, as I already told you, you're going to enjoy the mystery behind this. Let's see what happens next. Sherlock takes the letter in his hands. As a detective by his nature, he's looking at that envelope very carefully. And here, what he is saying, he says, okay, he says, man's thumb mark on corner. If this is the envelope, if I am carrying an envelope with me, I may hold it like this, like this. Okay, so he says that man's thumb mark. Maybe it's of mailman's, a postman's thumb mark. Why? Because any person, if an anonymous letter is given to someone, no one will give without wearing a gloves. It will be easy for the cops to trace that person out. So he says that definitely this thumb mark is of postman's. Then he read the date, July 7th. He says, okay, Mary, this is what? If this is what the author of the letter wants, or the person who is sending you the pearls every year wants, that you should go and visit him, we will go. We will surely go. We will find out what's the mystery behind your missing father. We will find out why every year you're receiving such a precious, such a valuable pearl. And if your father is alive, if he is sending you the pearl, why he is not coming directly to meet you or directly right in front of you? So many questions and their answers. All the answers are starting with maybe. That is not sure. I am not sure that at the given address when I am reaching over there, if I am Mary, if I am reaching at the given address at 7 o'clock, I don't know whether I'll be shot dead or not. I don't know that when I'll reach at the given address, I'll get more hints whether I have to go to some other place or not. I don't know. I don't know that where I'm going, I'll be asked to come all alone to some other place from there. Because till that place, till the Lyceum Theatre, she was allowed to keep two of her friends with her. But what will happen next? I don't know. If I'm Mary. Oh, questions, mysterious questions. What will happen next? And another thing, if I will not go tonight at 7 o'clock at the address, at the given address, what will happen next? Will my life be in danger? Will the person because of whom my father is missing, this is all Mary's mind, I am telling you. Will the same thing will happen to me? Or is someone tracing me that I am going to Sherlock Holmes, I am seeking his help? We don't know. None of the question is answered very definitely, very correctly, with very confidence that yes, this can be done. No. So, to get all the answers of all such questions, to get out of all this situation, Sherlock asks Mary to go and see where she has been called. She says, okay, I'll go. And then Sherlock tells us that me and Watson, myself and my friend Dr. Watson, we will join you for this. To which she agrees. Because as a lady, she cannot go all alone. That also at evening 7 o'clock. Now when they have reached at that place, now before going to that place, now Watson is looking at Mary. Here a little bit of attraction is taking place between Mary and Dr. Watson. Earlier, I told you that our narrator is Dr. Watson, the friend of Sherlock Holmes. And now, because of Mary's simple appearance, because of her simplicity, he is a bit attracted towards Mary. And looking at all the situation, hearing from her, at what situations she has went through, some kind of sympathy, some kind of attraction is developing inside Watson for Mary. Exactly at 7 o'clock, Sherlock says that we will go. And then Mary asks, but would he come? We are going to meet a person whom we don't know, just an anonymous letter. You're telling that, Sherlock, you're telling that we will go. What if he doesn't come? Sherlock says he will come. He will come because he has called you. Then Sherlock says that right at 7 o'clock we will leave. So Mary left Sherlock's place to come back again. And now here a small discussion between Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson is taking place. Please turn on to page number 211. Okay, I'll read that paragraph for you. Now, after all this discussion has taken place between Mary and Sherlock Holmes, Dr. Watson is a good listener. He is listening over there. And he says, when Mary leaves that place, he says that, what a very attractive woman, I exclaimed, turning to my companion. Yeah, right. My companion means Watson is telling this to his friend Sherlock Holmes, that what an attractive woman she is. He had lit his pipe again. Sherlock has lit his pipe again. He is smoking with his pipe and he was leaning back. He just dropped his eyelids. He just closed his eyes and he says, is she? Remember, for Sherlock Holmes, she is just a client. In all the conversations, if you have read the textbook or if not, then please start reading the textbook, dear children. You will find that Mary's beauty or how Mary looks alike only Watson has described. And here again, when Watson says that she's a very attractive woman, Sherlock says, is she? Because Sherlock is looking at her only as a client. I did not observe. He is only focusing on the case. And Watson says to him that, Sherlock, you're literally a calculating machine. You're not a human. You're not looking at a person. You're not looking at the physical appearance of a person. You're only paying towards the please pardon me. You're only paying towards whatever her problem is. Your attention is completely on her problems. Okay, he says that. Now, Sherlock says to Watson, listen it very carefully. I am reading that line for you. He smiled gently. It is of the first importance, he says, not to allow your judgment to be based by personal qualities. Never bias your judgment by personal qualities. Maybe a person is looking, because the person is looking very shabby, very poor kind, the look is very poor, doesn't mean that the person is always right. Or if a person is looking very good, very nice, maybe some type of attitude that person is carrying, doesn't mean that the person is rude all the time. We cannot judge a book by its cover. Always remember that. So that's why Sherlock says that it is first important. Do not allow your judgment to be biased by the personal qualities. A client is to me a mere unit, a factor in a problem. For me, my client is just a factor who is facing a problem, is just a person who is facing a problem. The emotional qualities are antagonist to clear reasoning. I assure you that the most winning woman I ever knew was hanged for poisoning three little children for their insurance money, and the most repellent man of my acquaintance is a philanthropist who has spent nearly a quarter of a million upon the London poor. He says that do not judge anyone looking at the physical appearance. Here he has given two examples. Example of one woman who was very attractive, who was very beautiful, but because of insurance money, she has poisoned her three little children. Oh, three little children she has poisoned just to get the insurance money. And if you will look at that woman, she was very beautiful. Sherlock says to Watson. And he says that I know a man, a repellent man, a philanthropist. Children, please note down this word. You have to find the meaning of this word. Philanthropist. He spent half of his money to the poor and needy people of London. We cannot know how a person looks inside, what is going inside the mind of a person. In this case, however, he stops. He stops taking at Mary Mostyn case. Later on, he says that when Watson tells him about that, it's a kind of very unusual case that her father is missing, then she has been receiving a pearl every year, and now she got an animus later, and that person is asking her to come without bringing cops with her. However, she is allowed to take two of her friends with him. She says that, okay, Sherlock says, okay, fine. Look at this long letters. Now, when Watson is talking to Holmes, he has started observing the written material on the letter. And he is telling it, look at the letters. Look at the validation of K, how K he has written. Very long letters. Okay. And from handwriting, sometimes it is said that you can make out the person's quality. You can find out the personality of a person looking at their handwritings. So here he is saying that three hardly look at the long letters. He's asking them to looking at the long letters. He says that they hardly raise above the common herd. The D might be an A. D is looking like in small letter. D is looking like an A, and that I and E, and I is looking like E. He says that man of character, the person who is writing this letter is a man of character, always differentiate their long letters. However, illegally, they may write. Again, he says that there is valication in his case when he has written K, and self-esteem in his capitals. Whenever he is writing capital, whenever starting something, starting word, you can see self-esteem in that. Now I'm going out. Sherlock says, I'm going out. I have some few references to make. I'm going to make out some few references. I have to look at to the case very, very deeply. One of the most remarkable case ever penned. Sherlock was also somewhere very much excited about this case. And he says that I'll be back in an hour, because at 7 o'clock again they have to reach at the place. So he says that within an hour I'll be back. Now what happens next? Were they able to reach to the given address at time? If they reached properly, if they reached safely, was there any threat for their life? Was there anyone waiting for them to take Mary away from them? What has happened next? Was Sherlock was able to solve the case or not? Dear children, that we will see in our next session. Before I end this, I'll give you 5 to 6 words. Please note it down. Please write it down on your notebook and try to find out their meaning. Write down the first word from page number 210 and 11. Please write down the word. Page number 210. Lustrous. Lustrous. Then the second word is appealing. Appealing. The third word is resemblance. The fourth word is philanthropist. And the fifth word, the last word, is scrabble. Is scrabble. Very simple words. Try to find out the meaning. And when we will be done with our chapter. Answer. Till then, dear children, stay home, stay safe, take care of your health and the health of your near and dear ones. Study and take care. Bye bye.